robust urban garlic flavor.
Yeah, so Phil's back from his day off and a short streaming week for him, and he's playing his stupid survival horror game, don't ask me why, and he doesn't hit the goal. But, you know, this part is actually something that I found really interesting, because I'm like, why would he talk about this? Because his fans are going to hold their money until the donation comes in.
And the other thing to address and talk about is the goals. Which, by the way, how you like the horror font that I have today? Pretty cool, right?
Yep, it's a DSP stream because, you know, he's constantly talking about the goals.
Now, I do want to address something that happened during Friday Night Fights. Near the end of the stream, I received a tip, and it was a very large tip. What I can tell you, the tip was over $100, okay? PayPal froze the tip and placed it under this review process. Okay, what does that mean, and why does that happen, and how does that affect things? Well, the thing is, PayPal, being the payment processor that they are, probably sees payments from a zillion different locations of a zillion different kinds. And quite frankly, there probably has been fraud, money laundering, and other things that have happened through their business over the years. So they have safeguards in place, but the safeguards seem to be random. And what I mean by that is some of them are just so asinine and stupid. A few years ago, there was someone who would come on my streams, and then their name was like the country of Iran or Iraq or something like that. It was a joke, right? So they would come and they would tip and be like, oh, I'm sitting here in the oil fields, you know, next to my derrick, and as the oil is spewing out, I'm watching DSPgaming, here's $5. They would freeze that tip. Why? Because it's from the Middle East, right? Of course, it wasn't. But just because the guy's name was like the country of Iraq, they would actually freeze the tip. And that thing would be frozen for like days. And then all of a sudden, they would either release it or deny it. Now, that also seems to be completely random. And what I mean by that is sometimes they'll freeze a transaction and it's within 24 hours, it's freed up, you're good. Here's your money. Sometimes they'll sit on it for weeks. I just had, during my day off, 5 tips that had been frozen over a month ago were finally cleared and given to me. And the thing was, they were tiny, like the $2, $5. One of them was $10, okay? So these weren't like, oh, ginormous transactions. They were frozen for over a month, and then they finally got around to doing it, and then they gave it to me. So what's frustrating about this is, so this person, okay, tried to send me the tip. It froze. Now, I have no control over this whatsoever. 0. Then that person tried it again with a different amount, and that also froze. So we have 2 tips in limbo, and they're both large, for the record, and I don't know if or when they're going to clear. So they very well could never clear, in which case we'll never talk about it again. But at any moment during this week, randomly, PayPal could decide to unfreeze these tips, and if they do, I will count those tips towards whatever particular stream is happening when the tips unfreeze. Or, let's say it happens during off hours. What if it unfreezes overnight? Then I'll count that towards the next stream that I stream. I'll announce it there, and we'll get it on the leaderboard or whatever. Because I'll tell you right now, it's enough to hit a goal instantly. Okay? So we'll see what happens. That could help this week for us to hit our goals and get DSP tries it a little quicker. Or it could just stay frozen indefinitely, and there's nothing I can do about it. PayPal is what PayPal is, and all I would say is I hope that it does free up. If not, I would hope that the person who sent the tips gets their money back, you know, maybe to contact PayPal. I don't know. Because, again, you never know at all. You never know why these things are happening. I don't get it. I never understand it. So, it is the return of Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, I told you guys, that's great. And if it does well repeatedly, like let's say we play it a couple of times on night streams and people show up and engage in support with it and we're hitting goals, then I might bring it back as a day stream again. I might rotate it back to the day stream rotations, okay? But only if it does well. If it's not doing well, then I'm not going to do that, all right? So I hope you'll come back tonight, excuse me, around 7 p.m. Pacific time for GTA 4. Tomorrow, totally different streams. Tomorrow it's going to be Donkey Kong Bonanza and American Truck Simulator. Okay? All right. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'll see you
so
tonight
DSP
for GTA
has been
4.
streaming
Peace out.
anywhere from, DSP is already bargaining here. He's like, okay, if this performs well in the late stream, I will bring it back to the day stream, which I'm like, I'm a little confused about that because I guess he's assuming that his day and night audiences are 100% the same. They're not, Phil. What, you think people have the time to like watch you the entire time? So it's like, why, if they're just watching you at the day, it's like, why if they're just watching you at night would they literally support a game so it can go back to the day and then they won't see it? Seems kind of counterintuitive if you ask me. And now we move on to the night stream where it's totally not a big deal that he didn't hit the goal on the day stream, but then he's gonna pressure you relentlessly to hit the goal.
Why it took so long for GTA with mods to come back is simple. The last time that we did it, it just didn't do well. No exaggeration, we didn't even make $100 of support the last time that we did GTA with mods, which is disappointing.
Yeah, we're going to this chill night stream of gameplay, but all we're getting is a business meeting and a guilt trip.
When we first started doing this, at the very beginning of the month, it was either the very end of June or the very beginning of July, it was actually doing really well. We had great views on it, both on demand and on the streams, and the support was great. And I think what's happened is, much like with anything, the initial hype kind of died out because I've played this before. You know, people have seen me play GTA 4 a couple of times, and so once you've seen the mods, you see, oh wow, the character models look much better, the graphics and the lighting are better, the driving's a little different. Once you've seen all that, the feeling of the fresh and new and shiny wears out. People still come by, but it's not as many as the first few streams, right? So
yeah, that's basically the cycle of life for a DSP game. He plays it like 2 to 5 times, and then his audience get bored of it because he's just boring.
That's why GTA 4 is at night now rather than on a day stream. The day streams are being reserved for newer games and games that, you know, we're trying to make more progress in because they're lengthier playthroughs and the like. So because of that,
yeah, this is something I don't understand about DSP. He always likes to make progress in the games, but it's like, does that really matter, Phil? It's what's important is entertaining your audience, but he thinks that entertaining means progress.
tonight, about 2 hours, give or take, of GTA 4. And here's what we're going to do, and I'll reiterate this again as we're starting. Excuse me. If people actually do show up and engage and support this as a late stream for a couple of times, then I'll say, all right, you know what? Maybe that one-off time last week where we didn't hit a goal was just an anomaly. Maybe there is the interest for it.
Yeah, Phil is back to the, if one stream fails, I'm gonna have major consequences for it. So it's like, why support a game playthrough at all if you have only one strike? Especially that the goal is higher. Like, I get it if it was 50, but 150? Yeah, I'm gonna pull out right now.
But I'm not convinced that's going to happen, you know? But if it does, I will actually take this playthrough and put it back as the daytime stream. Why wouldn't I? If it's doing well and people are coming by and hanging out, right, then I think that I should come back or bring it back to the day streams, right? I think so. So
yeah, and keep in mind, half of his audience could be different, and he's like, why are we being used like pawns here to bring it back to the day stream? Like, seriously.
So what's on everyone's mind tonight? How is everyone? Everyone's quiet. What's up, Dungeon?
Well, they're quiet because they're listening to you complain about stuff and talk about the goals.
All right, so here's the deal. Number one, earlier today, we had a good stream of Ludo, but we didn't hit the goal. We actually got about $100. Not bad. That's for a suspenseful horror game that honestly wasn't a giant mainstream appeal game, but to do something different for the schedule, I was happy with $100 of support. I'm not going to complain at all. We didn't hit a goal, but it was still a great stream, okay?
Yeah, he's not going to complain about that, but he's going to try extra hard to hit the goal on this stream, which is really just him complaining about not hitting it on the last stream.
Tonight for GTA 4, I want to hit a goal, all right? I do. I think we need to hit the goal tonight so that we can get advancement, we can get towards our reward of Shake and Go, the local business out here that I want to try for DSP tries it. And this is a short streaming week for me. It's only today, tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. That's it. So, got to do well. So, please, let's hit the goal tonight. And by the way, there was 0 support from Kick this morning. 0. Every contribution was either a super chat or a tip. Nothing from Kick. So tonight, if you're on Kick, I'm looking at you. Please support the stream tonight. I know that you guys over there like GTA, like GTA 4. Let's get some subs, especially because for this week, time is actually running out. The way that it works on Kick is that the week for Kick ends on Tuesday morning. So anything I make tonight and tomorrow on Kick counts for this week's pay. And obviously, I want to do better than what I have because right now we're way behind. This has been one of the slowest weeks. I actually am down to the lowest amount of subs that I have had on Kick since I joined Kick. If you remember when I joined Kick initially, there was a big wave of support. It's all dwindling. It sucks. Some of the regulars haven't been around all week. I don't know what happened. They were here like Sunday, Monday last week, and then they just disappeared. So let's get support tonight on Kick if we can.
Yeah, DSP seems to not be able to go throughout a stream without begging Kick exclusively for more money. Like, it's really, he expects 50 viewers there to be 50 paying viewers monthly. But that's not how it works, Phil, and he won't get that. But they're all LARPers, and he still doesn't really understand that.
Who's going to be our first support of the night? Let's get our first super chat. Let's get our first tip. Let's get our first sub, and let's get a member. Let's do it all. Right now, let's get one. The $20 animations are always available as long as I'm playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. When the Bonanza playthrough ends, I will remove them. But a $20 contribution of anything.
And this is where Phil is not putting his business cap on, because if you realize, if he put sound effects for super chats at like $5, he'd be getting more super chats. So him getting rid of the sound effects immediately after the playthrough is kind of silly. Like, he should be rotating them like he does the animations.
I've been reading Kick Chat, Michelle Soguchi. Maybe you should open your ears. Now we're at 20 bucks of support. All right, we got a tip, we got a super chat. Let's get a sub over on Kick. We got a sub over on Kick. Look at that. I said, let's get a sub over on Kick, and I received a sub over on Kick from your future stepdad. So your future stepdad, you just showed up. FYI, just so you know, you're the first contributor from Kick this week. No one supported from Kick this morning at all, and we didn't hit our support goal because of it. So that's awesome. Thank you for the first support on Kick of the week.
It's hilarious that he thinks 50 people cumulatively on a live stream are going to give him $60 plus each stream, but he really thinks that because he says, oh, if we got Kick support, we would have hit the goal. Not necessarily, Phil. Not necessarily at all. So basically, the daily Kick shaming continues unabated.
Someone came by. I don't know who it is because when people send tips, unless they tell me who it is, I don't know who it is. Someone tipped 2 tips, each of which was over $100, but PayPal froze them for review. And here we are, nearly 48 hours later, PayPal still hasn't approved them. If they do go through, they could apply to tonight's stream. I said the moment that they clear, if they ever do, I'll count them towards our goals for the week and everything. But they're in limbo. So I was honestly hoping it would be cleared up tomorrow or yesterday when I was off, but they're just sitting there on hold. It's awful. Stupid crap. So it is what it is, and we'll see what happens. If it does free up, I'll let you know. We can celebrate, but if not, you know, nothing I can do about that. But you may see all of a sudden I might be shouting out giant tips out of nowhere because they actually came through. What I would like to do if that happens, I have to go into my PayPal app to see the message because the message doesn't come through when they get frozen for review. It's so stupid.
Yeah, he's so anxious and excited for this $100 tip that he can't just stop talking about it. He's just going to go on and on and on.
A Pokemon game to get all the Pokemon. Never done that once. I just buy one version. What's up, NCU 1000? How are you tonight? It's good to see you here on stream. I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to GTA 4 with mods. I'm hoping people will show up as a late stream because this has always been a day stream up to now, but I'm hoping that people will show up and chill with me as we're around the halfway point of the game right now.
Yeah, this man was so concerned about support for this game that he completely changed the routine of playing this game on his streams from the day to the night stream. Make it make sense.
Well, I managed to do it again. I did it about a week ago. And I did it again, basically because of the dry air and the pollen in the air right now, because it's summer, you know, the air conditioner's on, I had to sneeze. So I went to blow my nose and I sneezed and I got a nosebleed.
Yep, this is the quality content you see on DSPgaming. He keeps the camera on. Like, when this happens, just say, I got a nosebleed, and I'm just gonna put the gameplay on and we'll do that. Don't sit there with a tissue stuck up your nose.
If GTA 4 does well tonight and we hit our support goal, and if it happens one more time, then I would be willing to bring this back and do it as a day stream again. I know that many of you liked it as a day stream, but we had an off stream where we didn't hit the goal, which is why for now, for a couple of streams, it's going to be a night stream. So if we get it back on track, it can be a day stream again. Let's see what happens. Okay? And particularly over on Kick support tonight would be greatly appreciated. It's a new week, and so far I only have 1 sub from Kick. Please support the stream if you're watching on Kick and you like the content.
Yep, he's entirely begging right before he turns on the camera and starts gameplay.
Okay. Particularly, it would be good if we could hit 2 goals tonight, because I didn't hit my goal earlier today. Okay, here we go.
All right, guys, I'm not going to complain about not hitting the goal on the day stream, but I totally am when I'm telling you I want double the amount of money that I usually get on this stream because I didn't get enough money earlier. Yeah, you sly dog, Phil. Begging harder every single day.
What is up, everyone? DSP back with GTA 4 with mods here on DSP Gaming. Haven't played it in a little bit.
Yeah. To nobody's surprise, DSP hit the goal tonight. I guess people really want to get rid of GTA 4 on the night stream and bring it back to the day stream because they're like, oh, I want to see Phil play Mario Kart in the night stream. But yeah, he's back to begging. There's nothing changed. He's still the same guy. He's going to beg for money over and over and over again. He's going to blame the game so he doesn't get the amount of support that he expects.